Welcome back to another episode of Searching for MacGuffin with your hosts,
George.
Dan.
Gabe.
And Link.
No, that's not your name.
Yeah,
Nick,
my name's
it was literally set
you
up
said,
for you.
you said Nick?
No, he
Yeah,
said Link.
So I said.
He was no, he
I-
didn't.
Yeah,
you should have
exactly.
said Nick.
I said
he messed
Nick.
it up.
Why does he
No.
keep saying Link?
Because that's my name, Nick.
Why are you talking away from the mic?
Come on, don't act
Don't
like
you-
this is your first day. Don't you
Yeah,
stream
don't you do this-
professionally?
You do this for a living.
Maybe.
Okay. You've been on the show before. The audience knows.
Do they?
All right. So we have a very special guest today, and it's so we can
It's
get
Dan.
right into. Well, he has
No, I
been
was
here
here
for
last week.
a couple weeks. Yeah,
Yeah.
and the week before.
I'll be here next week.
Oh,
He's
yes.
staying. He's staying over. But our special guest here is obviously Nick, aka Mario Max, because he's here to talk all things Mario, Mario Kart, Mario Switch, Mario Welcome Tour, all the great games that are coming up in lieu of the controversial Nintendo Direct. Is that a fair assessment?
The
Controversial
once
you.
beloved and now controversial.
I would say everything, like all the information presented after the Nintendo Direct was more controversial.
Right. So the Direct itself hit hard and it hit good, but then the info dump the next
It's
24
the stuff
to
that they
72
left
hours.
out of the direct.
Yeah, like
That's
prices.
why the direct is so good. It was so great.
Yeah.
And then
They knew what they were doing, hiding the
Yeah.
prices.
Yep. So I guess should we get on first to the features? What is the Nintendo Switch do in case someone didn't sit there, cancel their class, and watch a 1-hour Direct with their students? I've heard is a thing that some people did across the country.
Yeah, and
Interesting.
I made patients in their hospital beds watch the Nintendo Direct as we worked together.
Yep. We had it on 1.5 speed, so yeah, we only took 45 minutes of class time, so it wasn't the full hour. But
Should have been the full.
so what
hour.
is right? What are some of the new features? Actually, rolled over into lunch. It was like about a half hour. What are some of the new features that some of you guys are excited or not excited about?
Well, it's bigger. The Joy-Cons are much bigger too, and hopefully that means that they won't have
They
stick
drift even more.
I hope they don't.
The
drift.
then
sticks
you
are
have to pay
bigger.
more this time because they are magnetic.
Yeah.
No.
Because they'll wait 5 years before they acknowledge their culpability and repair them for free, and they still won't work after they fix them.
Hopefully that's why it's 450 because the Joy-Cons actually work.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, that would be worth it. Besides that, a new feature, one of the big new features is that you can now use your Joy-Con controllers as mice. How do we feel about that?
Ooh, I don't
Very
like
cool.
mice. I don't like rats. I don't like any rodents really,
Oh,
except for
Unfortunate.
raccoons.
A real
Shout
New
out to
Yorker right
Rocket.
there.
So Dan, you think it's really cool? Why?
I think it's fantastic because of that one clip of someone using it for Metroid. That's it.
Oh,
No
I thought it was
notes.
'cause-
Mouse on
The
my Switch. That's all that matters.
Oh, I thought it was because of that one clip of the wheelchair basketball game.
Oh yeah, no, that's exactly why I'm pre-ordering it.
That looks sick.
the gimmick game.
How much will? Okay, so in case you haven't heard, the big controversy is just how expensive everything else is. Nick just mentioned $450 for the system itself, $500 if it includes Mario Kart. On its own, Mario Kart is $80, so you're getting a little deduction there. But my question to you is, how much do you think they're going to charge for the wheelchair game for the mouse?
Honestly, that looks like a
60.
$40 or $50 game. But it's gonna
Yeah,
end up being a full
$69.99.
60. I don't think it will be a 70. There's no way people are gonna get that for 70. I think it has
$80.
to be like, I think max it's like
90 physical.
it should be like at least like 50 or 40, but like they're gonna.
It
charge
should
like
be
60,
40,
so-
but
Yeah.
that's gonna be the first Nintendo game to be $100. They're gonna
They
test out
better,
the
send,
water.
they better send you an actual wheelchair with the bundle.
Yeah. I mean, they charged what, 60 for arms? They charged was it 50 or 60 for 1-2 Switch at launch?
That's ridiculous, man.
So-
The sequel is cheaper than that.
Yeah,
if
and
you
there's-
go online right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, even to this day, right?
Yeah.
1-2 Switch is more expensive than the sequel, which is
Yeah.
significantly better, although still not that great.
But yeah,
Yeah.
we got a
Okay, so the
mouse
mouse.
that you can control wheelchair with and shoot a gun.
My
which-
favorite feature is the Connect.
Yeah. Are you still excited? I did like I honestly do like camera features, and I was a big fan of the Kinect. But do you know, Gabe? I don't know if you're aware that the Switch does not come with the camera. That is an additional purchase.
Of
You broke this down, actually. How much is it?
$49.99.
Yeah,
Or
I think it's 50. It's 50.
$49.99.
Yeah,
it's 50.
It might be $100
so-
now, but
So
it was
it's
50 when they announced it.
500 for the system with Mario Kart,
Correct. If you wanted digital.
and then another 50 for the camera.
Yeah.
There's something else that you included in there that I was wondering. I was like, why is that? Why do you have to pay for that?
Another
Is there something else you have to buy for the camera? Or you can
No,
buy for
I
the
mean,
camera?
there's another 90 if you want a second pair of Joy-Cons, you know. Right now we're going to have
No.
to survive with 2-player. Then there is the
The
wheels
Pro
for Mario
controller
Kart.
is what, 70? 80?
Yes.
No,
No,
it's like 90.
$90.
Oh,
$90.
no.
Yeah, I think it's the
No,
same
I
as the Joy-Con.
lowballed? Oh, God.
Yeah. And that was you trying to make it sound expensive. I heard the Pro controller's $70. No, it's not.
Wasn't the original like 70 or 80?
Yeah, 70 or 80, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this one has a button with a C on it to open your chat.
Oh,
So
it's
that
the
you can
dock
use
set.
your
That's
$50 camera.
Oh yeah, that's it
Game
for
chat.
an additional dock set. That's not. You don't need to buy a dock set. But yes, the dock.
I was
set
about to
is
say it
like,
doesn't come with a dock set. That's crazy.
It's the dock set is what, $110. I think
The
that was
the dock set, yeah, 110.
What?
Yeah, I know these price. Yeah, I know these prices by memory because they are the stuff of my nightmares. I dream about them at night. They haunt me. The dock haunts me.
So the
The
funny
dog
thing
haunts you.
is, the funny thing is just like when the direct is going on, we have the group chat and Danny's just popping off. Like he's watching this, he's just like,
It's a slow day
Oh
at
my
work. It was
God.
great.
Mario Kart, the mouse, what is it? The Kinect is back. Like this is how like I'm picturing Danny in my head. Like as I'm reading this, like in all caps, just yelling this information at me, and it's like, it got me hype. I was excited. I was like, I'm probably not gonna buy a Switch 2 until like 3 years from now. When
For
they
the
come out
OLED,
with the,
right?
when they come out with the newer version, and for another Strikers game that I'm never gonna play. But like the excitement I can tell, like, and I was excited for him, you know, and then you were like, this sounds insane. I'm not even watching this, and this sounds like amazing. What the heck? And everyone's super hype. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be amazing. And I'm like, okay, I gotta watch this direct now. I was just gonna phone it in on this episode, but I gotta watch it now. This sounds exciting. And I watched it and I was like, oh, this is pretty sick. This is awesome. I think it
Yeah,
means
I
more to
honest-
you guys that you obviously use your Switch way more than I do. But go ahead. Sorry.
But it definitely looks like the next leap forward for the Switch, and I do think it's exciting. We're gonna rag on the prices probably throughout this episode, but I do think that they did a really good job developing the hardware. I think probably the biggest criticism is like bringing it to market. Just to touch upon that point that you mentioned about the Mario Strikers game that you don't really play, we will be getting the GameCube Mario Strikers
Yes.
game through the Virtual Console.
And that's the good one,
And
right?
yeah, that's
Now
the
we're
good one,
talking,
and it will be
yeah.
free.
Yeah, also I have an update
Included
on
with
that.
your
I have an
subscription.
update on that.
Yeah, go ahead, Nick.
They were originally planning like 3 GameCube games on launch.
Yeah,
which
that's what they told us.
But now they added Mario Strikers as the launch. Not that like I don't think you'll get it the Switch on launch day, but it'll be there no matter what.
Well,
What do
Gabe
you
will be
mean?
here
What do you
in my
mean?
house on launch day. One of us will.
Well, that'll
Even
be
if
on
it
the
means-
original Switch too, right?
No,
No,
GameCube is exclusive.
it's
for
exclusive
Switch
feature
too.
for the Switch too.
Oh,
Yeah.
I did not realize.
So I'm getting a Switch 2, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Strikers
or we're gonna
again.
steal. Or we're gonna steal Link's credit card because I don't think he closed that account when he passed. So we might just buy it on his and bring it over. But yeah, Strikers got you one more time. Everything old is new again. That's a feature that we didn't even mention. The GameCube library. Dan even confused whether it was coming for
Yeah.
original Switch or not. Yeah, no, the hardware for Switch 2 and also marketability, right, limits it to the
Are you doing
Switch 2.
GoldenEye?
GoldenEye is out already for Nintendo 64 on Virtual Console. I talked
What
about
are
it for a
they?
long time and then never
What are they
played it.
GameCube games?
The
They had
GameCube
Melee?
games? Go ahead, Nick. No, they don't have Melee. Nice try, buddy. It'll be years, if ever. We still don't have Smash 64 on Nintendo Switch Online. So
And we never will.
yeah, they're gatekeeping for sure.
Stupid.
Melee will be even harder because did it have guest characters yet or not?
I don't think
No?
so.
Okay.
No.
So they just
I think
wanna-
it started with Brawl.
Yeah.
Yes, that is true. So there's really not a reason why we can't get them back, but we have not
It's
gotten
because they want to charge you for it. It's because they want during
Oh,
the
yeah,
anniversary.
definitely.
They're gonna be like, "It's $60. Pay up."
Smash Collection.
Yeah.
Smash Collection. It includes
They're
both.
gonna
Of them.
go crazy for Melee, the Smash community.
Yeah. So his question was, what are the GameCube games that are launching, Nick?
Wind Waker, Soul Calibur 2,
Awesome.
F-Zero GX, and now Mario Strikers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Soul Calibur 2 is
with Link.
that's my pick, the one with Link, right? I wish we could get a perfect version because I think that we have Hayachi and Spawn on the like arcade not virtual console, but whatever the Xbox calls it. So they put the PlayStation and the Xbox character together. I wish we could get those somehow in the GameCube version, but I'd rather have this than nothing at all.
Soul
Link back in Soul
Calibur 2.
Yeah. Throwback.
Yep.
Am I getting a Switch to just play GameCube games?
GameCube, possibly.
I mean, I think that's what I'll do because they're adding Luigi's Mansion 2,
Mhm.
and that's my favorite game of all time.
Plus
The
that
Whoa,
original
whoa,
Luigi's
whoa! You support Luigi?
Mansion. I do.
Yeah, he wasn't
And
on
his
that
mansion.
episode, so. Yeah. They're also what is that that Pokemon game? Gale of Darkness? Is that what it's called?
Gale of Darkness, yeah.
Yes, and Coliseum,
Oh,
which were two
yeah.
which were two of my favorite games in the GameCube generation. Now, if I go back to them, will I still like them? I don't know, but I'm excited about revisiting them.
I bet they run
because-
better than Scarlet and Violet.
That's true. Because I remember having a Pokemon adventure game was like a big deal to me at that time as a kid. And being able to take those monsters from your handheld, which is usually where you do the battle, and pit them against each other on my GameCube with those graphics was like a big deal. So both those games were iconic at the time. It seems like we're most excited about the GameCube games, huh?
I mean, yeah, they're a really big part. Like, 'cause that's huge. Like, GameCube, like, that's like something really big. It has a lot of great games on there.
Yeah, probably one of the best systems of all time,
Yeah.
right?
I would say, yeah. It's just on games alone.
Bringing in Wind Waker also gives the Switch the advantage of almost compiling the entire Legend of Zelda series on one console. I think the Wii U right now is probably the best one that has it, except that it doesn't have Tears of the Kingdom, but it has every title practically before that. But with getting Wind Waker, that means that just leaves what, Twilight Princess?
Twilight Princess, yeah.
Twilight Princess, which you know we're gonna get eventually, whether it's the GameCube version or the Wii remaster. I think that's a no-brainer. So if you're into Zelda, this would probably be the ultimate machine for you. I guess we'll go into that's a natural evolution into titles, because two of the biggest titles that they're launching with are games that you probably already own, right? Which is The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Right? Want to give us a little bit of insight on what this looks like?
So basically, essentially, you're paying $10 more to get like a little FPS upgrade and like graphical upgrade on.
Did you
those
watch the
games.
Treehouse footage?
Yeah,
It was significant.
It looks really smooth. It looks.
I will
really good
say,
now,
like
Yeah.
the emulation on PC, people have already been running it on 60 frames with like high rendered graphics, and the game, it is a significant jump from the 30 locked to what I assume will either be 60, hopefully maybe a little more than that.
I believe it's 60, just for consistency's sake.
Yeah, but that is a huge jump. Now, is it worth an extra $10 for the game you already own? That's the tricky part. But I will be replaying it, and I would recommend that most kind of go back into Breath of the Wild with the fresh eyes of a 60 frames per second, because it makes a difference. It doesn't sound like much, but it makes a big difference.
Yeah, I think it also has variable ray tracing and DLL. No, yeah,
Yeah,
like
I think
yeah,
it has that too.
you know, modern features like that that weren't implemented, you know, at that time. So, and you said, you put the question of $10, is it worth it? I think that's not a lot to ask, to be honest with you. We've been here before. Like PlayStation has a bunch of upgrades. They did Last of Us 1, Last of Us 2, Horizon Zero Dawn, God of War, and many more. And that's pretty much what they charge, $10 to $20 for an upgrade, depending on how significant the sometimes it's for a remaster. The 21s are more remasters, but the $10 are like upgrades to next gen. So that's pretty standard. And that's kind of the line I was holding, because when we were in the chat, some of you guys were like, $30. It could be 30. I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna pay $30 to upgrade a game I already own.
If it was
But I
30
think
for the
10's
game that I already bought, I would be okay with doing it just once, just for Breath of the Wild, just to experience it
Yeah.
and 60 frames per second. That would have been my max, but I'm happy that it's included with the online, because that means I don't
Yeah.
have
It's
to.
included.
Because
Yeah.
not only is 10 a good price, 0 is an even better price. If you have Nintendo Switch Online, it is
Yeah.
included with your subscription. So that's $20 that I won't even have to spend. And I probably would have just got. I know you said Breath. I probably would have just got Tears at first because I haven't finished it. But now, obviously, I'm gonna jump into both because like it's already included with my subscription.
Yeah. It does not include the Breath of the Wild DLC though, so you still have to pay separately.
Is
for
that confirmed, or are we just unclear at this point?
I think we're unclear, but I feel like
The assumption.
they would have mentioned.
We're unclearly confirmed.
So
The
when we
uns-
say
the
it doesn't
assumption-
include, right?
You
we
will have
mean,
to
like-
pay for the DLC
If
or
you
the
haven't
upgrade
already.
Version.
No. It means that you would have already haven't to bought it. If you're brand new and you haven't bought Breath of the Wild or its DLC, you'll have to buy.
Oh yeah.
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 Makes
I
sense.
mean, that's I'm okay with that, I
Yeah.
guess.
So in
I
that
don't
case,
think
it
I
would
ever.
be $30.
Yeah. It doesn't
Yeah.
affect us because we already have it. But I guess the question is this: like, you're paying $80, right? Because we're worried about the upgrade, because that's the situation we find ourselves in. But $80 for an 8-year-old game that right now you can get for about 40, 45 from every major retailer. I literally just looked it up this morning and it was like, you can get Amazon or Best Buy. You can get this game pretty cheap. So to take a $40, $45 game, add a $10 upgrade, which they price themselves, and then charge $80 for it, both digitally or on cartridge. On digitally, it's even, I think, more egregious because you could get 2 Nintendo vouchers and just get Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild for $100, so that makes them about $50 each. But to charge $70 and $80 for these games seems like a lot of money because you can kind of piece this package together significantly cheaper.
Sure, it's not 75.
No, it's 70 for Breath and 80 for Tears of the Kingdom.
That's crazy,
Right?
Yeah.
'Cause and Tears of the Kingdom doesn't even have DLC.
Exactly,
Yeah.
yeah. So that was the other thing. We just assume it should. If you buy this game brand new, the Switch 2 version, it should include the DLC, but it doesn't look like it because it's not marketed anywhere. They didn't mention it, and we've seen the packaging, and it doesn't say it. So
Is Master Mode part of the DLC?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, Danny.
Thoughts are-
Elden,
thoughts are running
Elden
through-
Ring. Elden
running
Ring.
through
It's
his mind.
okay.
That's true. Elden Ring is coming to the Switch, which
They
I
also
called
added,
earlier.
They also added like new features to both Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. There's like this new Nintendo Switch online like app called like Zelda
Oh
Notes.
yeah,
Yeah.
Right.
And they added like achievements and you can like a GPS, so like, oh, how do I get this
It's like
Korok
turn
seed?
left,
Where do I
yeah.
go? Yeah, go
Under
go
this rock.
north.
I mean,
And
I already
what
had
think
a
is really cool, though-
non-licensed app that was kind of guiding me to the shrines and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's
What I
nice
think
to
is
have
really
licensed.
cool though is that you can share your Tears of the Kingdom builds
That's the-
online
that's the
and
best
scan
part.
and scan
Yeah.
a QR code, and like that's really cool. 'Cause,
That
like,
opens up the game. That's gonna make me
Yeah.
go back to the game.
I feel like that they should have done that at first because like that's amazing. Like all the builds you see online, like, oh, I want to build.
I wanna
and,
do
like,
that, but I
yeah,
don't wanna
and
actually
just
build
share- Yeah,
Yeah.
Just share the build and boom.
Yeah. So Zelda, the games you already own, big selling point. I guess
What
should
about
we go?
Super Monkey Ball?
You can play the current Nintendo Switch Super Monkey Ball, and there is Godzilla and Miku DLC for that game. So
There's a
What?
Godzilla DLC for.
How do you
And a
wait?
Miku.
What?
Both.
yeah,
How does that work?
It's like Fortnite.
They're inside the ball.
What?
They're the character.
Godzilla.
It's Super Godzilla ball.
That's kind of sick.
Rah.
Might have to buy a Switch too.
Yeah.
To play the Switch One
To
game.
play the Switch 1 version.
Exactly.
You wanna go through Mario Kart?
Yeah, I guess I will.
The greatest
Alright,
game
so
of all
Mario
time.
Kart. Yeah, almost.
Based on the
Well-
price, it should
Well worth the $80 in my opinion.
So it's kind of like Mario Kart and Burnout Paradise, and I used to love Burnout.
Oh,
Paradise.
whoa,
You know
whoa,
how crazy?
whoa.
You know how crazy that sounds
Oh,
though. Like you know
okay.
how like insane that sounds.
Yeah, but I also don't think that that's an accurate depiction of what the game is. Okay.
Okay, but like the open world aspect.
There's an opportunity for that, but based
There's
on
a
the footage-
car involved.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's cars in an open world, and that's about where the comparison ends.
Yeah.
I would love for them to move in the direction, but we'll see.
I would love for them to get Guns N' Roses on board.
And
So
ruin
I
the
can-
song.
Hey,
play
Paradise
Mario
City.
Kart and just yeah.
No,
the DLC
no,
is possible.
They record a new song, like "Take Me Down to Mario Kart World."
Take me down to the
Take
Rainbow
me
Road.
home, Rainbow Road, to the place.
Dang,
I
Nick went up.
belong.
Actually, no, I went up to him because I used an actual Guns N' Roses song, but that was really good, Nick.
Yeah, and I think that he passed away.
Oh,
John Denver.
Yeah, John Denver.
rip.
Anyways, go ahead, Mario Kart.
Yeah, so Mario Kart. So basically, the whole shtick of Mario Kart World is that you have like a cool open world, and there's an open world mode where you can just like explore and drive around.
And do nothing.
Yeah, pretty much. That's the thing. We'll see. We don't have like a ton of information yet, because they're gonna have a Nintendo Direct just for Mario Kart World next week.
Yeah,
and
that's what
we'll
I'm putting
see.
my eggs in the basket. to
Yeah.
Wait,
see
you mean I can't like drive around and then like race other people and get achievements for that?
As of right now, we haven't seen that, which is what we would love.
We don't
again
know.
when you compare it.
Yeah.
Yeah, to
Okay.
Burnout Paradise.
But
So
there
thanks
might-
for
there might
thanks for
be.
telling me that it's Burnout Paradise, Nick.
Yeah, it's
Now-
and it's
I
just
hate-
like
a
Burnout
sand.
Paradise.
It's just a cyan box.
$80 is not worth it anymore. I agree with
Yeah.
Danny. It's shot through my hype.
Mm.
Nintendo is evil. Is there anybody that like supports this that are like, you know, loves Nintendo no matter what? And they'll
There are
defend them to the
people.
death?
They're
They're
I
not on
know-
the show anymore.
I know one
Right.
person.
Oh yeah, there is. That's true. There is. There's one Canadian out there who is just chopping down trees and pre-ordering everything. Oh, speaking of which, the wheels for Mario Kart are $20 for a pair of Mario Kart wheels. You don't think maybe they could have packed those in with the $80 game
Wheels?
as an
The hell you
excuse?
the hell you
Wait,
talking
what
about?
wheels?
What we
Oh, you remember remember they have wheels where you drive like this with the motion controls. So like the wheels you put your Joy-Con in it.
Oh yeah, but then you look it up and then it's not compatible for Switch.
Oh, it's a
2.
wheel.
Yeah, no, the old wheel's not compatible. They're coming out with a new wheel.
Oh,
it's
they are?
Yeah, it's $20 for a
Oh,
pair.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
mean, they're basically plastic.
$100 Mario Kart then.
Yeah, they're just basically plastic shells that you pop the controller in, and then the button you press on the wheel presses the button on your
That
controller.
really should be in the bundle though.
It's like the Wii wheel. for the
Agreed.
Wii.
Yeah, just like the Wii Reel and Switch had too.
Oh, that's cool.
But nobody
I
really
personally
listens to
think
Switch.
that they should have Wiimotes that you can connect to your Switch and you can use the Wiimote.
I would love that.
That would be.
That's just
Yeah,
a
I have
random
them.
thought. Sorry.
I have them lying around. No, that's fair because you have your GameCube controllers. You can connect those. Oh,
Yeah.
now with Virtual Console GameCube, my GameCube controller and adapter is gonna come in handy. So. But okay, yeah.
Also-
So back to the main game. Oh, sorry, go ahead. Okay.
Sorry. I saw someone said in the chat that the Wii U was back. Did I make that up?
I don't know what they would be
The
talking
Wii U
about.
is back.
Oh yeah, well the Wii U is back in the sense that so yeah, it was you, Dan. Actually, he's confused about the comment. Wii U is back. Pretty sure it was you. Maybe I'm wrong.
He
Basically, you
dissociated
can-
himself.
It was a feature that I was looking for it, like for years. I thought the Switch should have done it, but it's still not as robust as what the Wii U did, but it's fine. You can share with another console so that basically one game you're playing the different monitors. Just like with the Wii U, you had the system connected to the TV and the gamepad. You could either throw a map on it or do multiplayer on it. As of right now, they've only shown multiplayer on it. But if they could incorporate features like that, I think that would be amazing. Where you would need 2 Switches, which, listen, Nintendo, you're gonna love this idea. We have to buy another Switch. Well, the idea was to incorporate the old Switch, which they are supporting for Switch One games. So you can game share to other monitors, other Nintendo Switches, if it's a Switch One game, but not if it's a Switch Two game. You need 2 Switch Twos, right? I know this can get complicated, but
Yeah, it's so
basically,
confusing.
you're playing Mario Kart World on your Switch, docked, connected to the TV.
Your
But you
$110
can-
dock set.
Yeah, but then you can share that game theoretically with like 3 more Switch 2s, right? And they can play with just one copy of the game. The
That
4 of
costs
you can play.
$450 each.
Yes, that costs 450 each. Now
Okay.
let's take another
Go ahead.
game. Like, what's a good game with multiplayer like that? Dan, that we saw. Maybe you saw that features the game share feature. Wonder. No, it didn't have it actually. I don't think. Let's say Mario Wonder, theoretically. Okay, Mario Wonder's, but you don't need separate screens because you're all on the same screen, right? Yeah. What's a game that? Well, this feature's great, but we can't think of how you could.
Well, they
possibly
only
use it.
announced like
Yeah.
4 games for the feature.
Yeah. What were those
So
games? Do you
I-
remember?
It was like Odyssey, Captain Toad, and something else.
Oh, really?
it was like
Captain
Big
Toad?
Brain Academy.
Oh, Captain Toad would be useful if you could like rotate differently, like, but I don't know if it's that deep. But like if you could rotate in one direction and I could rotate it and be on the other side of the puzzle, that'll work. But long story short, like if it's a Switch One game, you can share on the other and do that. What I would like is for them to use that second monitor feature to add features so you could use DS games, at 3DS games, obviously the 2DS version, and
Trauma Center.
Wii U games and Wii U games. Because now if you have 2 monitors, you can replicate that dual screen thing. So hopefully that's something they're thinking about by creating that dual screen synergy.
What about game
Anyway.
sharing?
Already
You mean like digital
confused.
rights? Yeah, this is gonna be. You want to give it a crack? How does the game share feature work, Nick?
Virtual
It's just
cartridge.
It's just like Burnout Paradise.
yeah, exactly. It's just like Burnout Paradise. Everything is like Burnout Paradise.
So then I'm gonna buy it 15 times on every console
Yeah.
for the rest of my life. Okay, got it.
And it's gonna ruin the song Paradise City for you.
The new
Take me
feature.
down to
The,
the Paradise.
the new feature is called Virtual Cartridge, and Nick, I guess, is gonna try his best to walk us through it.
Oh, the virtual cartridge thing.
Yeah.
So basically, like,
Inserted
Yeah,
in the
like a-
slot.
if you have a digital game, then you can get like a digital cartridge, and you can share that digital cartridge to other people with a Switch or like
The
your
8
Switch family
no,
members.
the 8 people in your
The-
family. There's 8.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh,
That's
I didn't
right,
see
you're
those
limited.
3 fingers. I didn't see those 3. Just like those 8 people.
You're right. The rest were there.
Yeah, so you send the game, and then they get it for like 14 days, and then you get it back. And
Wait, but
Much
you
it,
can't
right?
play it in those 14
I
days?
don't. I
No,
don't-
you cannot.
I don't think so.
No, you cannot.
It's like just how real sharing works.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like if you're handing them your cartridge, your
Yeah.
digital cartridge.
Yeah, hand them that cartridge
Yeah. If you take your game and you insert it into their slot.
into
Yeah.
their slot.
Yeah.
Got it.
Exactly. Okay.
So, the old system, in case you're not aware of it, because a lot of Switch owners just don't even know how digital rights work on the Switch. But
Me.
basically, you have a that's fair. You have a primary console, and whatever you download can be played by anyone, any profile on that console. Yeah, there you go. But you have a secondary. If you have a second console, and it's not your primary, a secondary or third, like me. I have 3 in this home. Do not ask me why. Then you can access any of your games as long as you are signed in on your account online. All right, Xbox, PlayStation, they pretty much work the same way, right? With Switch, it gets a little more complicated because it's portable, so you're taking it with you. But that's basically how it works. This new feature would replace that. As of right now, you can opt in and out of one of those features. Unclear whether you can opt back into the old one after you opt out. And unclear if we'll also have that opt in and out option on the Switch too, although most people seem pretty...
There are people that seem to believe that both features will be present. Has that been confirmed, denied? Is there any-
simultaneously?
Yes. That you
No,
will
that has
have
not been
the-
confirmed. Go ahead.
Well, no, it's just that basically you have the option of the virtual cartridge, but you also have that home console ability.
That would be amazing, and then this feature would be great. But as of right now, it seems like you have to opt out, at least on the Switch 1. Details are nebulous how all this is going to work on the Switch 2. But at least on the Switch 1, and we'll know in a couple of days because this is an April update to the Switch 1. So in a couple of days, we'll
this is
have the
before
answer.
the Switch 2.
Yeah, so in a couple of days, we will know how it works on the Switch 1, at least. And we'll probably have more information on how, if it'll work exactly the same way on the Switch 2. But as of right now, you have to opt out of your primary console, and then you can use digital cartridges. Or just ignore the new feature and keep operating the way you have, always.
Until they
Word.
make it mandatory.
Yeah, it's fair, yeah. They might make it mandatory on the Switch 2 immediately. You know?
Yeah.
They might be waiting to see how it does in April and May before they launch with it mandatory in June on the Switch 2.
They want to see if their greed will be called out.
Yeah, because I think they can't abandon the old system fully on the Switch 1 because, like, that's already the agreements that we have for licensing those titles. But technically, we do not have any agreement with any Switch 2 titles that we've purchased yet. So, all right, let's wrap with a couple of the other titles that you might be excited about, Nick, especially since you are probably the most excited about the game catalog.
Yeah. I guess we didn't finish talking about Mario Kart.
Okay,
I guess
so
I'll finish that real
wrap
quick.
it up,
So
sure.
yeah, you got the open world mode. You can play with your friends, drive around the world. You got your regular Grand Prix. However, there's two settings you can do with the Grand Prix now. So instead of like when you finish a race in the Grand Prix, you move on to the next course. Instead, what happens is that you finish the course, but then you drive to the next course instead of like teleporting there. So you take like a route to get to the next course. The thing with that though is like you do 2 laps on the route and only do 1 lap around the course, which is kind of controversial, but there is a setting to turn that option off so you can have your traditional Grand Prix where you just do your 3 laps on each course and not have to do any routes.
I had not heard that last
Me
caveat.
neither.
I love the idea. Yeah, I love the idea of driving to the next course. My one concern is like, do you have to wait for everybody to get there? Or...
No, it's like a continuous race.
Oh, okay, so it's like the Tour de France,
Yeah.
basically. Okay. All right, so that makes sense. But how do you do just 1 lap on a course? The trail changes after the first lap? Because if a track is meant for you to go around and around, right? Once you get to that track and you do it once, are you not in the same place that you started? Or...
I think yeah, but there's like an opening where you can go.
It'll
through
direct you to what the next route
'cause the
is.
world's all connected. So think of it like streets, like you're passing through a city. So
Got
then
it.
that street opens and you can go through to the next.
Right, it'll
next
take you to...
place. So yeah.
Wow, that is controversial, that last one about only doing 1. And you mentioned you can turn it off, but that means turning it off means you're just doing traditional 3 laps and
yeah.
not driving. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't love that. I don't...
Yeah, but there's this cool mode that I think I'm really interested in called Knockout Tour. So it's like kind of like you're driving, there's 24 racers, and at the end of a course, if you're under the placement threshold, then you get knocked out.
Yeah, this looks
Or if
cool.
you're over, you
that's
stayed
cool.
in. And I think that's like really cool, and I'm excited for that.
All right, the fact that there is 24 racers now, these games are going to get insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be very chaotic.
Mm-hmm.
Are you worried about balancing?
I saw that they kind of nerfed some items, like the bullet bill doesn't even like knock you back anymore, and I'm like, I guess that makes sense because there's way more racers, but I kind of like more chaos, but
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll see more. We don't have like a ton of information yet on the game, but there is a direct next week specifically for Mario Kart World, so we're gonna get more on that.
All right. Really quick, I want just at least 2 minutes of what I think is going to be the game of the year. Welcome
wheelchair
Tour.
game?
What can you tell us? Oh, that one's close, but Welcome Tour is even better. Tell us about it, Nick.
Welcome Tour might be the first video game in history to sell 0 copies.
That's not
You
true.
know someone's gonna buy it for
Someone's
$6
gonna buy it.
in
Yeah.
Japan. Yeah.
but,
Some-
but
And they're
but
gonna
only
make a video
ironically-
about it and make the money.
But
Yeah.
only ironically, not
Every-
even unironically.
Yeah, every influencer will have it.
It's
Or
like,
someone will
it's
buy it by
literally-
mistake.
True. Grandparents will buy them as their first Switch title. Like, oh look, this is such a good cheap option.
Bro, the game is literally like a guide, like a tech demo, how to use your Switch 2 console. Oh, we got this Joy-Con. This is like what it can do. The mouse controls, the motion controls. It's kind of like the PS4 like games, like the Astro's Playroom thing.
Yeah,
right?
but Astro's Playroom, even Astro's Playroom is way more of a game, and it was free.
Yeah.
Free?
Yeah.
Yeah,
As was Aperture Science Desk for the Steam Deck.
yeah, and Wii Sports for Wii. And
Oh yeah, let's not even get. That's a
Yeah.
full-fledged one of the greatest games of all time.
But like
Theoretically.
this game, it's like it's not even like really a game. It's more of a tech demo and a guide. So I'm like, oh, okay, that's like the packing game, right? You teach people how to use your Switch like in a fun, interactive way. And then, oh yeah, it's a paid digital purchase.
Yeah. $6 and
Switch-
change in
is
in
Switch Sports
Japan,
good?
Probably 10 here. What?
Is Switch Sports good?
I personally like Switch Sports. It doesn't have a lot of fans because it does not measure up to the epicness of Wii Sports Resort or Wii Sports Club or even the original Wii Sports. So it looks nicer. Honestly, the motion is even more accurate, but it just doesn't have the same flair. Like it's very limited in the games that they offered at launch.
Dare I
and
say they
did
picked
very
some bad
little.
games?
Yeah, you could say that too. Yeah, because
What'd
some
they pick?
games it's like, oh, this was good, but like I'm not gonna do this all the time. Like I'm not gonna come back to it.
I
It's
mean,
not
they
the
got
kind of
what?
game you.
Baseball, tennis, volleyball.
No, they do not
What?
have baseball.
No
they do
baseball.
not have.
No basketball.
They don't have boxing. No boxing, which was a big
boxing.
one.
Oh, boxing?
Yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah.
What did they pick?
for-
Badminton?
They have. What is it?
I think they did actually. Did they?
Yeah, they do.
I
have
think
badminton.
badminton was
They do
there.
They do have
Are you serious?
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
so, yeah.
And they have-
Volleyball.
what's this sport? Chambra. What is it
Oh,
called?
the thing where you
Yeah,
the stick.
you have a wand. Yeah, and you
then
like hit each
gotta
other.
push
with
them
a-
off the.
You have to push them
Dude,
off.
what
the
was
platform.
You get a stick?
That was a fencing. Okay, left
Ah.
and right. Okay, not back and forth. Back and
What-
to the left.
What about bowling?
They do have bowling, yes. And
Tennis?
bowling's good. They do have tennis, yes. That's like the whole game, bowling
Yeah.
and tennis.
And then my favorite one, the golf one, which is like a big one. They
Oh,
added that
golf.
like what? How
Yeah.
many months later?
No, I want to say like a year later.
I think like a year later,
Yeah,
right?
The
Yeah.
game was dead already when they added
Yeah,
it,
it's
which
like,
is
why? Like,
fantastic.
What about skeet shooting?
No. If you want to play Wii Sports, I recommend Wii Sports Resort for the Wii U.
Oh, but they have soccer games.
Or club.
They added soccer.
They had skydiving in Resort. They added soccer, but the soccer kind of sucks. I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah.
The leg strap.
You're limited in movement. It's mostly just about like kicking. So, anyways, that's Switch Sports. Oh, there's that. We didn't talk about backwards compatibility. We'll get to the rest of the titles really quick. But like, you can use your old Switch controllers, so that's fine. But only to play Switch One games. You can use your accessories. Everything for the most part is going to be backwards compatible, but just to play that old stuff. So I was afraid my Joy-Cons were going in the trash. My Pro controller wouldn't work, but for the most
Guys, I
part,
don't like
everything
Joy-Cons.
yeah, Joy-Cons suck. I play with
I-
Pro controller.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. It's not just me.
No, it's not just you. Yeah, Joy-Cons are terrible, but these look like they could be good. So, Nick, the last couple of games.
All right, I guess we'll start off with the other Switch 2 edition game. So like Mario Party.
Oh, I
So-
forgot about Mario Party.
Yeah, so this one's different because it actually adds more
Plus
content.
TV Jamboree.
Yeah, it adds more content on top of the better graphics and frames. So it's like they add this new Jamboree TV mode, another couple of like mini games. They also add mouse compatibility for some mini games too. So yeah, that's like pretty much it.
I hear that game doesn't have as many mini games as like Superstar. Is that true?
I'm not sure, but
Okay, because you haven't played it.
yeah, I haven't really
Because
played it.
we bought it for you for
Yeah.
Christmas. And
Oh,
you haven't even turned it on.
yeah, well,
Okay.
I'll turn it on soon.
You'll pay for that upgrade though.
If people play with me, if I find people to play, then yeah, maybe I guess. All right, and then the other game, Kirby and the Forgotten Land, my favorite. So they added a new like whole DLC campaign to this game. Not only that, but they added the 60 frames per second because the game ran at 30, and it was like a little laggy at sometimes. Like there were some moments where It would kind of lag.
Which is crazy to me for a game like Kirby. It's not even that like technically
Yeah, it was like
demanding, but
it wouldn't
Nick,
lag.
didn't
that
you hold the
much,
world
but
record?
Yeah, I'm trying to get it back.
What did you hold
what
the
is that?
world
Describe
record
that
at?
real quick. Yeah, how does that work?
Speed running.
Speed
So
running. What is a
speedrunning,
speed run?
the
You try to
entire.
beat the game as fast as possible, and I'm doing a different category, which is all Waddle Dees. So beat the game as fast as possible while getting all the Waddle Dees in the main.
How far are you from the current world record?
I'm like 3 minutes, but I was on a pace last night. I was gonna beat it, but then things happened and I lost the run.
You lost
But-
focus. So do you get like a certificate
Yeah,
or something?
I made mistakes.
You fumble, you
No,
fumble, you
just
fumble.
get to flex to your friends and family.
You put it all over your X.
Yeah.
Huh.
And then I deleted my main X account, so I can't do that anymore. But yeah, they
Good
added
choice.
new DLC, a whole new campaign.
How
And
long do you think that campaign will be?
I think like maybe it's a few hours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
3 to 5 is my guess.
Yeah, probably. And the game runs beautifully at 60 frames. I saw like the treehouse footage and the graphics. They look so much like they was already good, but like it looks way better. It's like looking at eye candy, and I was like, "Game's amazing, guys." It's pretty weird how they added DLC 3 years after it came out, because it's 3 years old already.
Yeah, it's even weirder how then they charge you $80 for the 3-year-old game plus
Yeah.
the DLC. Is that crazy?
You can just buy the game for like 40 and just get the $20 upgrade, and boom, look, see, there we go.
And it's literally exactly the same experience. 'Cause I don't think we've even talked about this. I believe they've confirmed recently that a Switch 2 game that is on Switch 1 is literally just a Switch 1 cartridge with a code for the additional content.
for the upgrade.
Are you
Yeah.
serious?
Yep. So you won't actually be able to share the upgrade pack. I mean, either way, right? Oh, maybe I guess with primary console, yes, but you won't be able to eject your DLC.
The greed,
Right?
Mr.
Maybe if
Crab.
you
Oh.
Maybe if you update the
Holding
game
his
and then
money.
share it.
Oh,
maybe
that's
you
true.
can.
Yeah, because you're ejecting the premium version of the game.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah,
But,
eject that premium.
So even if you get a Switch 2 version of a game, again, the ones in this situation are Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, Kirby, The Forgotten Land, and
Metroid and Pokemon.
the upcoming Metroid and Pokemon, which I guess we'll talk very briefly on the upcoming games. But those games, you're just buying the Switch 1 version and a code for the other content, and you'll have to eject your Switch 2
Premium.
version. Yeah, so it's like a combo pack.
So it's like a
Physical Switch
code
one.
that I have to put into the Nintendo Switch store to then
Correct.
download the. What a waste of my time as the consumer when I just paid $80 for an upgraded old game. How
Now,
ridiculous!
yeah. Now this isn't much different than what like PlayStation Xbox has been doing for years. Most of those discs are and we didn't even talk about the fact that some discs have no game on them. You'll just be downloading the entire game. But I think all discs pretty much last gen and this gen are just licensing keys, right? And you're downloading the game. Nintendo moving in that direction, which is a shame because that's something we liked about Nintendo better, but it's not different than what's been going on in the industry for quite a few years now, right? Some of those cartridges, you saw that, right? There's no game on the cartridge. It's just a download, a digital download. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess the last like launch. Oh, it's not launch, but in a few weeks after launch is the Donkey Kong game.
Yeah. There's Donkey Kong. It looks really fun. I know opinions of people who've played it already and the Nintendo Switch 2 experience. They say that's a game of the year contender for sure. And I'm like, yeah, I'm interested. It looks fun.
Mario Odyssey for Donkey
Yeah,
Kong.
pretty much, yeah. And like, I feel like Donkey Kong like has way more movement options. The fact that the entire terrain is destructible, which is like kind of crazy. Like that's
Oh,
like,
that's cool. I didn't know that.
that's technically impressive. Like you can smash anything in the terrain and change it, and the game remembers like forever. There is a button to reset the terrain, obviously, because then
No,
the
I
game
think
would
you
be
should just
broken.
ruin your game.
Yeah, just ruin the game. Just soft lock the game forever. Yeah.
But Nintendo will sell you a second copy of that game for $80.
You have to
actually only
buy
70.
to reset the
It is-
terrain. You have to pay $10.99.
Yeah. It is 70, which I'm guessing is the new standard for Nintendo Switch 2 games.
Which is
because,
horrible.
Like the Metroid, I'm guessing that Switch 2 upgrade will be 70. I'm guessing Switch 1 will be 60, but Switch 2 will be 70.
Bro, I expect Metro to be 80. We've been
I
waiting
expect
years
it
for
to be
that.
Bro,
80,
but
yeah.
did you see the gameplay? That has I think the best graphics of any Nintendo game ever made. The
Agreed.
graphics on Metroid Prime 4 are insane. And the cool thing about the Switch 2 version 2 that it adds the mouse compatibility. So you can play Metroid as like a first person shooter. And I think that's really cool. And the last game, Switch 2 edition game is Legends ZA Pokemon. And it doesn't run like crap for one.
From what we've seen thus
Wow.
far.
Yeah.
We'll see
Yeah.
about that.
60 FPS. I mean, graphics are still they're all right.
$95.
Yeah.
Game Freak, the most powerful device in the world, and they'd
Yeah.
still find a way to make it run like crap.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe the game still has like a bunch of crashes and bugs. But Legend ZA was actually a pretty solid game in that regard. There wasn't a lot of bugs or
You mean
crashes.
Arceus? You mean Arceus?
I mean
You mean
Arceus. I mean
Arceus,
Arceus. Yeah. And then there's Scarlet and Violet, which is the most broken game on earth.
Which there's a rumor that there'll be a free graphical and performance update for that game,
Yeah.
and along with others.
It
is
better be
confirmed, but I
free
don't
for
know
that
if it's
game.
it's confirmed that it's free, but I'm not sure if it's is it a graphical upgrade? I don't know what it is.
I think it's just performance, so the performance will make the graphics better in the sense that they won't, a guy's face won't melt in front
In
of
the
you. and the
sense
game
of
won't
you'll
crash.
be able to play the game.
The game won't
Actually
freeze for
run through the
2
world.
seconds,
Yeah.
and the game won't run at 5 FPS.
Right.
At the point where it's nauseating just looking at it.
Yeah.
Game
Literally.
Freak, this
No.
is a message to you. I hate you. I hate you, Game Freak. That's my time.
Mm.
All right, so we spent an hour watching the direct. We spent almost an hour talking about the direct. Yay or nay? Where are we on the cusp of the next generation of Nintendo consoles?
Mm.
They've got wheelchairs. Yay.
There's still 2 more games I want to talk about though.
Okay, so give them to
Yeah.
us.
There's that Hyrule Warriors game.
As he falls asleep.
No, I'm just feeling really bad. As I mentioned, it has nothing to do with the topic.
Yeah. So there's that Hyrule Warriors game for Tears of the Kingdom. I think that's cool.
Yeah, but it'll be
I won't-
that's late 2025, right?
It said winter, so it could be 2025, 2026, early 2026.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And that game looks cool, but I won't get it. I don't
Yeah,
think that's
because
my
you've
type of
never
game.
gotten the other 2 games before that
No.
also look cool.
Yeah. So,
I'm down to play those games for you, by the way. I own both of them.
Oh yeah, you can game share or just give me
Oh,
it.
I could eject it with you, or we could play local. Because okay, so here's the thing: I bought the first one for the Wii U, and it was great, and I played it with my wife. But the performance was so bad, we couldn't push through it. And then they announced it's coming out for Switch. I was like, oh well, wait. Of course, that never happened, right? Did get it for Switch, never played it. But then the sequel came direct for Switch. So I got it, and we played a little bit of it, but performance was also, now it was a bigger game, and the performance was bad on the Switch. So I've started both of those games, but I just haven't been able. Hopefully they'll run better on the Switch too. And hopefully they don't make the Switch 2 game even bigger and the performance is bad. So, because there's 100 characters on screen at the same time. Anyways, okay, so that one, you're excited about that, and?
Yeah, and then there's one more game announced for 2025, which is one I'm really excited for. Kirby Air Riders.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That looks
So I've never played the
As long as it
original
has
Kirby,
Kirby
Air
in
Ride.
front of it.
Yeah, I've never played the original Kirby Air Ride.
But you're probably going to get it on GameCube Virtual Console, right?
maybe they might have it.
Eventually, after they
Eventually.
sell copies of this
Yeah.
new one.
But
Yeah, they have
I've
to
heard
make
really
sure they
good
don't
things.
discourage your purchase.
Everyone who ever played that game says one of the best experiences in gaming, because there's this
It's-
mode specifically in the game called City Trial. Think of it as Fortnite, but with cars.
I'm up.
Yeah. So, beginning of the match, you're dropped in a big sandbox area, and you're given a time limit, 8 minutes, 7 minutes, customizable time limit.
Mm-hmm.
And you go around breaking boxes, collecting power ups for your character, your car, speed buff, turn buff,
Okay.
attack buff.
Wow, the true Burnout
Yeah,
Paradise.
and there's a bunch of other players also playing with you, and you can also attack them to steal their buffs.
Like in Burnout Paradise.
Yeah. And
That's-
there's
this is the
random
real
events that can
Nintendo
go on
Burnout
too.
Paradise.
So like, oh, random in-game event that happens to like mix it up a bit.
Like in Burnout Paradise.
Yeah. And then at the end of the time limit, it selects like a random mini game, like, oh, defeat the other players or win the race the fastest. And then with your buffs, you go head to head, and then whoever wins that game, wins the whole game. And it's like really cool.
Cool. I hope the new one doesn't have that
Yeah.
mode.
So Kirby
Right.
Burnout Paradise.
Yeah. And I think another big seller of the game, because the original was made by
Sakurai.
Masahiro Sakurai, which developed the Smash Brothers series, and this new one is also developed by Sakurai as well.
Oh, I didn't
And
know.
I don't know
that.
if you ever, yeah, I don't know if you ever played Smash Bros for 3DS. Where there's a game called Smash Run, which is basically like Kirby Air Ride with like Smash Bros. Like you're given a time limit, you're dropped in this open Smash Bros world, and you collect buffs, and then at the end you guys fight it out. And that was one of my favorite modes on that Smash 3DS. Like I love that mode, so I'm like I definitely love Air Ride then. So yeah, I'm excited for that one.
All right. Nick, one of the few people on Earth excited for Kirby Air Ride.
That's not true. Everyone's excited. About it.
Well-
It's better than Mario Kart.
Well, that's the thing. That like Mario Kart is the like the blockbuster, and Kirby's like the critically acclaimed, right?
Yeah.
Like little bro. So dropping both of them within the same year of launch, that's gonna be interesting.
It's interesting, but I think they'll still both sell pretty well. Like I think Kirby will still be fine
Yeah, the
like-
real loser here is Sonic.
because they're just two completely different games. Like they're still like driving kart games, but they work in completely different ways. And then
The
Sonic,
real losers. Are
Rip.
bullets.
yeah, but Sonic does have an advantage that it's cheaper and it's multi-platform. So there's
That's
also
true.
that. So I think they all win actually because
We're
they're all
gonna have 3 racing
they're
games.
all completely different in their own way, and I think they all have there's a reason to get them all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotta catch 'em.
Gotta catch them
all.
all. All right. So if you haven't figured this out, it means that your budget should be about $700 to $1,000, right? I don't know what we're gonna do. The recent trade war, Nintendo halted pre-orders, said we got to think some things through because maybe we got to charge even more money. How do you guys feel about that?
The audacity.
Thing is,
the greed.
If they do that, then no one's gonna get the console.
I
It's
agree.
gonna fail. It's
I'm
like-
not gonna get it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get it.
So they gotta, what you said, bite the bullet.
Switch 2
Yeah.
could have been the best-selling console off rip. I think a lot of people were hyped about it, and I think the price is going to keep it from being the
failure that the 3DS and the Wii U were.
yes. Well, I don't think it's going to be a failure per se on that level, but I don't think it's going to reach the heights of the Switch because of our
Yeah.
current economic state plus the
Not a
price
great time,
increases, yeah, that we're seeing. I think we're gonna be right on the cusp of greatness, but a lot of people are not even gonna be able to experience it because
Yeah.
Nintendo just wants to put money in their pocket. Because $80 for Mario Kart World is a joke, and that's ridiculous. And insanity to then release the $450 price tag, have everyone get used to it, and then say, wait, maybe we might make it more expensive. The decisions being made here in terms of pricing are ridiculous, and I don't know. I'm scared a little bit for the future of gaming. I think if we have GTA drop at 100, like people are saying, and Mario Kart dropping at 80, I think we're gonna start seeing gaming becoming a lot more of a luxury instead of a cheap hobby. So I think we're in for a bit of a shock and a surprise. Unfortunately, and what was gearing up to be probably the best year of gaming, we have to deal with this issue.
The best games of all time that no one can afford to buy.
Yeah, exactly.
Till I get a
Gabe?
job.
Gabe, any thoughts?
Listen, I think whatever happens with the price increases, it all sounds very cool, and I think there's a lot of different things that I think I'm more interested in than I have been in a Nintendo console in a very long time.
Like wheelchairs.
Strikers
Exactly.
on the GameCube.
Exactly. No, just an upgraded version of my original Strikers 2. No, I think you guys will probably get it first. I mean, if you guys get it at all, and then
Don't expect that.
yeah, we'll go with that, and then
I'll definitely
know,
get
I
it
think-
before you. I'll definitely get it before you, but I don't know
Yeah.
if right away or even in the year of our Lord 2025.
yeah. So I think I don't know. I think it's all up in the air, like Danny was just saying. Like we were really hype, we were really excited, and then they kind of killed the hype with their greed and just I don't know. I think it's gonna be fun, but at the same time, at what cost?
Literally. Also,
It-
you guys keep saying, yeah, go ahead, Dan.
Well, I was just gonna say this right here, the pricing and everything. It makes it makes me more excited to revisit my backlog. Like actually,
Yeah.
and it makes me more excited to play games with a longer lifespan, like Monster Hunter World, even Fortnite, Rivals, things that I know. That's the advantage to the live service games. Is it's the price is free. You get a lot of content coming. You don't really have to pay for a long time. I feel like if you give me $80 Mario Kart, I'm gonna turn to other games because I can't validate an $80 Mario Kart purchase. It just
Yeah.
doesn't make sense, especially when I have other things to play on other consoles that are more powerful and releasing things at a better price. I don't understand that decision, but I don't know.
Now, you guys mentioned greed, and I'm not going to get into it. I think there's another episode to come, right, where we're going to kind of unpack this situation, its impact on gaming as a whole, as well as other trends that are happening, right? But this company's trying to make a buck, make a lot of bucks. Their model's always been that, to make a profit on the systems and not lose on the systems like other companies do, which is sound, and it's worked for them in the past. Sometimes it hasn't. But I think the real problem is the gaming inflation that's going on and the bubble that I think we're on the cusp of bursting. We just jumped to $70 games, and now they're 80, 90, rumors of 100. Parents, families, and even adults with disposable income like us, we don't have that much disposable income to pour into these things. At some point, gaming is important, like everything that we talk about on the show is, but it's not the most important. And we have, families to feed. We have more important things to do, investing in ourselves, et cetera, et cetera. And you're going to, I think, wither away that base.
Rivals, baby, Fortnite. It's tiptoeing the line of insisting upon itself. As we like
Maybe
to say.
that's maybe revisiting these models is something that the industry has to do, but maybe that's a conversation for another time. So till then, we'll be excited about what's on the horizon, and we'll be cautious about how much we'll actually be able to participate. Thank you for your time, Nick, producer Nick, for coming on
welcome.
board, and thank you guys as always. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Hope you understand a little more about the Nintendo Switch 2, because we're still confused ourselves.
Keep on searching.
Wheelchairs.